Hello everyone, my name is Alain Chalabarde and I'm the game designer of Actor Tycoon 2, and today I'm going to teach you how to do custom actors, which I think is a very fun thing to mod. If you haven't seen the introductory video, I highly suggest you do that. Otherwise, you're going to be a bit lost, I think, and you won't know what I'm talking about at times. So check that out. If you have, though, let's get straight to it. So as you can see, I still have my Alliance mod folder right here, which is the one we're going to be editing, and we're going to be opening the custom actors file right here. So here, as you can see, is we have a template of an actor, and it's the one that we're going to be modifying. If you wanted to create more than one, you would just select all of this and copy, and boom, you have a second actor. But for now, we're only going to do one actor. And some of you might have already seen it in the background, but I'm a big fan of Bojack Horseman, so that's the one we're going to be using, Bojack Horseman. He's right here. We're going to be checking him out. If you haven't seen the show, I highly recommend it. It's a really, really fun show. So let's create Bojack Horseman so that he can appear in our game. Let's go line by line, and I'll explain what each one of these mean and how you should mod them. So the first one is a pack. This doesn't really affect anything, but it is good to keep track of it. So I'm just going to say Alliance mod. The next one is very important, ID. This needs to be unique. So you cannot have two Bojack Horsemen, there we go, because otherwise one of them won't be shown. Only one of them will be shown. So make sure that the ID is unique and that no other mod is using the same name. First name is pretty self-explanatory, so let's say Bojack. And last name, it's also pretty Horseman. There you go. Next one, fans. So fans will also determine how many stars your actor has. So this is in our documentation, but I'll just say it real quick. 10 fans equals 1 star, 1,000 fans equals 2 stars, 100,000 fans equals 3 stars, 10 million fans equals 4 stars, and 1 billion fans equals 5 stars. So because Bojack was kind of like, he was famous back in his day, but then he kind of lost a lot of fame, and now he's like a, one of these old celebrities, we're gonna give him like 5 million fans, which gives him like about 3.5 stars, more or less. So yeah, that sounds like a good, for him, it sounds like it could be reasonable. Gender, male, is very important because that determines what movies he can audition for, what his chances are, those kind of things. Age, I believe Bojack Horseman was born in 64, I think. So he's must be 57 right now. So let's make him that age, 57. That's his age. Birth week. So this is when they celebrate their birthday and when they will increase their age. The year has 42 weeks. So Bojack Horseman, for example, was born on the 2nd of January. So that means he was born in the first week of the year. Death age. So this is a way to hard code when this actor will die. So I'm not gonna. If you want to hear spoilers, I'm not gonna say anything. But Bojack Horseman has quite a pretty hard life. He takes a lot of drugs and he drinks a lot of alcohol. So I would guess he would probably die pretty young. So let's do like 65 more or less. This might change depending on if the actor becomes an addict or if the actor has a healthier lifestyle. This might go up or down. Genres. So genres, each one of these numbers represent a different genre. Again, this is in our documentation, but I'll just go through them real quick. This is comedy. This is romance. This is drama. This is thriller. This is horror. And this is action. So Bojack Horseman became famous because of his comedy. So let's do 80 for comedy. Then let's do romance, about 60. Drama, 40, because he's not that good at it. 20 for thriller, 40, and 60. Ideally, it'd be good if, the way I'm doing it here, where the biggest one and the opposing one are, like if you put 80 for comedy, then you should put 20 for thriller. It just makes more sense. But you can do whatever you want, to be honest. Like, it's up to you. That's the whole point of modding. Culture ID, it's in this case, it wouldn't affect much. It usually determines actors' random names. So, for example, if you're English, you would have an English name. If you're French, you would have a French name. Country ID, however, that modifies the flag that you see on the left top corner. So in this case, it's kind of useful because we know that Bojack Horseman is American, so he's from the United States. Every country has an ID, and that you can find that in the ID, and sorry, in the cultures file, but that's for a different tutorial. Likes is what the actor will enjoy doing. So in this case, I know that Bojack Horseman, he's always trying to become a drama actor so that he's being taken seriously. So we're giving him drama. Uh, the likes title, what this means is what is going to be shown to the player. If the player reads something, what is it? So this is actually a localization key. If you don't know what a localization key is, I suggest you watch the video on localization to understand what this is. Dislikes, we're going to do horror. He doesn't like to do horror, and same thing. There's a localization key for horror. Looks, so these go from 0 to 100, and they're represented in the game in 5 points. So basically, they're divided by 5, so to speak. So Bojack Horseman is not super handsome, but he's also not super ugly. Super ugly. He does get laid from time to time. So let's give him like 60, which is about 3 points more or less. Talent, he's not very good, so let's do like 40. That's one thing that he's struggling with. That would be about 2 points. And attitude, he has a terrible attitude. That's the whole point of the show. So let's do 20, which would be like 1 point. Next will be skills. So skills, there's 5 skills that you can choose from. Maybe in the future we'll expand this and we'll have more skills. But so far you have singing, dancing, writing, combat, and accent. So you have to add the ones that you want. Let's do, for example, writing. And they have to be spelled exactly like this with no caps or anything like that. And combat, let's do for Bojack Horseman. And traits, well, this is the fun part. We know that there's a lot of traits in the game. You can even create your own traits. That's something for a different tutorial. But let's see if we can find some good traits that made Bojack Horseman will be, that would fit Bojack Horseman. So let's go to traits in the original game so we can read all the traits and maybe choose something cool. And here you have activist, addict, alcoholic, anorexic, bigot, creative. You have a bunch of them here. So you can kind of choose the ones that you prefer. We're definitely going to do addict because he does have some problems with, with drugs. So Bojack Horseman is going to have the addict trait and of course, the alcoholic trait. Alcoholic. There we go. Alcoholic. And I'm not sure if we're going to be adding any more. I mean, there's a lot of them. And I'm sure we could do a lot of them. Depressed, yeah, he's pretty depressed, so let's choose that one. Yeah, I mean, we could be adding a bunch of them if you wanted, but for now, we'll just keep it the way it is. Cool. And these are basically the main things that about your actor. Like, we basically covered all the main aspects of your actor. The ones below here are about the looks of the actor, all right? So first, I'm going to talk about these ones down here. This basically reflects what we see in the game, like this, for instance. This is not the game itself. This is just a screenshot, but the appearance based on the game look, let's say. And these numbers over here, you might be like, well, what's the eyes 2 and what's the clothes 3? What is that? Well, actually, the cool way to design this is if you go into the game where it says like facial hair 1, clothes 8, eyes 2, hair color 13, these kind of things. These numbers are the ones that you can use over here. So it's really, really easy. So you can just say, oh, well, this is going to be the clothes index 8. And that's how you design the look of your actor. Skin color and wrinkles are a little bit different. Skin color goes from 0, which would be very, very white, very pale, to 1, which would be very, very dark, very black, let's say. So Bojack Horseman, we don't know because he's a horse, but he's kind of brownish dark. So let's do like maybe 6, something like that. And wrinkles, he's kind of old. This would go from minimum 0, 0 to 0, 5. You can go over 5, but then it might look a little distorted. Bojack Horseman is a little bit old, so let's do about 3. And with this, we would have already an appearance for our actor, for Bojack Horseman. The problem is, Bojack is a horse. He's not a human. So he would look something like this, not really very, horse looking. So what we want to do is do a custom image, and that's where this comes in. So for the custom image, we're going to be using a custom file. Now, it's good that you use the same ID, like so. It's better to just use the same ID. And we're going to create a file called bojack-horseman.jpg. We're not going to write a JPEG here, but it will be a JPEG file. And that way the game will just grab that file and use that instead of the basic avatar from the game. So how do we do this? Well, We can use Photoshop or we can use Photop, for example, which I have here. We create a new file. It has to be 300 by 300 pixels. This is the file, 300 by 300. You paste whatever you want to paste. This is going to be our Bojack Horseman picture. We save the file. We name the file Bojack Horseman as it shows here, .jpg. I mean, it has to be a JPEG file, like I said. And we will copy that file in the following folder. So let's go back to my mod. Oh, sorry, not my mod. So in the images file folder, which we spoke about in the introduction video, in the images folder, you will find avatars. And in avatars, that's where you stick your file. So I already stuck it here. I have a Bojack Horseman file, which is the same name as we have here. And what will happen now is when I launch the game, Bojack Horseman will appear in my game. Now, of course, he won't be hired straight on, so you might not see him immediately. But as you play the game, you will eventually stumble upon him. So he'll just be one of the many actors that you find. Now, if you want to create more actors, what you do is you copy this, comma, and you create a new actor. And let's say this time it's going to be Mr. Peanut Butter, for example. And you would do the same thing, and you would have a second actor called Mr. Peanut Butter. So I hope you enjoyed that, and I'm really curious to see what you guys do with this. I mean, you can go on IMDb and find your favorite actors from the real world and stick them into the game, or you can, put your friends and family in the game. So yeah, I'm really curious to see what you guys do with this. You can share your creations on Discord or on Steam or anything like that. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.